Hello, my little Luxxes. This is another episode of Charsie Chats, and I am your host, cosplayer Charsie Luxxx. And today I am actually in cosplay, even though I technically don't look it, because this is a typical outfit I would normally wear. But I am actually on theme in cosplay related to my movie review that I either have posted or will be posting. Most likely will be posting, because I will probably post my Charsie Chats before my movie review of Dawn of the Beast. And I'm cosplaying a character from that film, and I am Lily, and she's my favorite character from the film. So I'm probably giving spoilers already by doing that. But the reason why this will probably go up before the movie review is due to the fact because my Charsie Chats are so much easier to edit. And my movie review, since I put so much effort and time into it, and add the movie clips and everything else that I really want to do and explore in it, and adding the memes, the funny gifs, I just put so much time and effort into it, and that's how I want it to be. So Charsie Chats is my, hey, me, being relaxed, just hanging out, talking to my friends, and just getting things off my chest if ever need be, or just the communication with everybody, letting them know, like, hey, there's weird shit going on in the world, maybe we should be talking about it, or the usual that, you know, we are struggling, and we're not alone, and that it's okay to not be okay, but I'm doing okay right now. Or I'm lying to myself and telling myself I'm okay. Either way, we don't care. But we do care. Whatever. But anyway, welcome to another Charsie Chats. And this episode is just going to be very low maintenance. I need to finish my thought process. Like I keep saying, that my brain thinks faster than my mouth talks. Oh my god, if anybody saw this, and if this is your first episode of being introduced to me, hello! I'm cosplayer Charsie Luxxx, and my brain is always all over the place, and I probably seem like I'm a gigantic idiot. But I am doing pretty good. It's been another wonderful week. It hasn't been a busy week like what it was last week, but I've been working on things and doing research, and obviously I'm going to be trying to cram 2 movie reviews and a ghost story in within this next week or so, week and a half, because I'm already towards the end of the month. I have no idea what happened to my September. I was in a very, very deep, depressive, dark state, and time got away from me. And I'm trying to crawl my way back out of it, and I'm so thankful for everyone that has just been so loving, supporting, and understanding, and that you've come along with me on this crazy journey and this crazy place that we call life, and that I'm just trying to focus more on my positives, trying to focus on the things that I'm blessed for, the things that I have. And we all have our problems, and we all have our demons that we fight. But I've also learned that I have to watch myself as I'm still healing and fixing my own problems and dealing with my own internal unfortunate feelings. And we'll leave it at that. Just the darkest, lowest of the low that your brain can be is that I can't be around people that are in that similar mindset, because their darkness pulls me down. And when I'm still struggling with my own feelings and my own self-doubt, because unfortunately these last few years, it's like my self-esteem, my own, and now I can't think of the word, it's not encouragement, just my own courage, just my own self-worth has been slipping. And I don't know what has been causing it completely, but it's like I just kept having negative thing after negative thing happening in my life. And it just kept stemming, and it stems back from 2015, from when my dad first passed away. And I didn't fully deal with that aftermath, and then it stemmed into just having a friend who was brutally murdered and dealing with that aftermath. So it kept going, and I wasn't ever dealing with these traumatic situations that have happened in my life. And then when you just get on top of that, all these toxic friendships, that it just kind of builds up over time. And like I had mentioned before, there comes a point where you start thinking, is it me? Am I doing it? And thank God for therapy, where it's like building back up my own self-worth, because I was becoming a pushover. I was becoming a doormat for people. And because I do love and care about people, that unfortunately there were too many people who were taking advantage of it, including people who were supposed to be my friends. And that it didn't matter how bad my situation was, or if I even was saying like, hey, I can't help you with this because I'm dealing with my own problems right now. And just for me to be straightforward and start saying to people like, hey, I'm going to take a time out for a while because I can't be around this right now, because unfortunately I'm not okay. So if I'm not okay, how am I supposed to help somebody else be okay? And you can try and build somebody up as much as you want. But when somebody is so torn down and so negative towards themselves, you can look at them and you can tell them you're wonderful and tell them all their amazing qualities. And it goes in one ear and out the other. And the problem was then I was doing it to myself. So when I see the good in people and I want to encourage that and push that, and you're surrounded by people that no matter what, they're always going to be looking at the darkness. They're always going to be looking at the negative. And it comes a point where it's like, I have to tell myself like, hey, you need to step away. This isn't good for you. This isn't good for your mental health and your emotions. And it was pulling me down and making me physically ill. And like I keep advocating, that mental health is just as important as physical health. But we will stem away from all of that. And I talk about this stuff because, like I said, this is all processing, that things that I'm working on to do better myself. And as I am emotionally and mentally healing myself, I'm getting back into being me and being of high spirits and being the positive person that I once was. Because there was a time that, especially when I first started my Charsie Luxxx channel, I could handle trolling like nobody's business. And I would just troll back, and it didn't bother me. And I didn't care if people said negative things to me. I just brush it off, because it's like, I know it's them and it's not me. That they're trying to project their darkness, their negativity, and their problems. They're trying to project it on me. But somewhere along the way, I started cracking. And things started feeling different. And it's been an interesting few years, I can say that. And that watching where it's like, I can remember when things started flipping and changing. And it had to do with when things started going really bad at my work, which I'm not there anymore, thank God. That when you're always in a negative cesspool when it comes to work, and then negative things started happening with my family and my personal life, and just started dragging me down. So it turned into one of those things where it's like, I'm so thankful that I started getting the professional help that I needed. And that my therapist is even telling me, she's like, you once had this. So what is different between then and now, that what is affecting it? So when I finally start coming to the realization and actually talking about the things that I've been pushing down and talking about those, it's like a light bulb going off. And it's like, oh my God, I didn't realize how much this was affecting me, even though this could have been something from years ago. So, like I said, I'm a huge advocate for taking care of yourself and for loving yourself. because none of us are perfect. We all make mistakes. But in the words of Peter Mon, lessons are repeated until the lesson is actually learned. Or in other words, mistakes are repeated until you've learned that lesson. So I've noticed from several different people that I will never talk to ever again, is because they've always been doing the same bullshit over and over again for how many years? My entire life that I've known them. And it just comes to a point where it's like, it has to be up to me to step away and to break that chain. Because otherwise they're gonna keep railroading me, which the unfortunate side is that my family kept trying to get it in their head that I was an unforgiving person. And it's like, that's not true. I do forgive these people, but I actually forgive them for myself, because these people have never once given me an apology for the terrible shit they have done. So, but I forgive them for myself and for my own peace of mind, but I move on. And it's one of those things where my husband even mentions a lyric from Tupac all the time, where he's like, oh, now I can't even think of the lyric. And my husband says it all the time. He's gonna make fun of me later. But basically he essentially says that I don't wish ill on you, but that doesn't mean that I want you to sit at my table. And it's just that realization that it's like, I can still love these people. These were important people in my life at one point in time. But it doesn't mean that they're a good person to be in my life. They could be fantastic for somebody else. And to that person themselves, they could probably view me as a toxic person as well. Because, like I said, I was a pushover. I was a yes man. So unless I was literally agreeing with anything that they said to me, wouldn't be a good friend. Let's put it that way. That if I wasn't the person that just agreed blindly with everything that they said, then otherwise it'd be an argument. If I ever stood up for myself, I would be told I was wrong, and this is why I was wrong, and just all that stupid bullshit that it gets to you after a while. And it was all kind of came to a head in 2020, and I'm so thankful that I started doing the Charsie Luxxx and finally started following my dreams, where I'm like, I love costumes, and then that just proceeded into everything and where I am right now, which turns into where I want to make a announcement here. And I am getting excited and getting ready to finally start my Patreon, because I've talked about this before. In fact, I think probably about the first episode or two of doing my own YouTube channel. And I've talked about it with so many of my friends, like just saying like, hey, the one thing that I do regret is that I started an OnlyFans instead of doing a Patreon. And if I would have known more about OnlyFans, I probably would have just steered and went for the Patreon version. So now that is exactly what I'm going to do, and I'm going to have different tiers for joining my Patreon. And what's so important about Patreon is that it's for people just to come and help support, and just anyone's support is going to be greatly appreciated. And the fact that it means that I can keep growing and expanding on this channel as well. And there'll be exclusive content on Patreon that nobody else will be able to see. And what's going to be included in that, because it's going to disappear from my YouTube, but I'm no longer going to do my bloopers or outtakes here on YouTube. I'm actually going to put them on my Patreon. So if you want to see the funness of my bloopers and my outtakes, that will be an exclusive on my Patreon here soon. But it's just different content and ideas that I'm getting together and I'm finalizing, and I'm definitely smoothing over all the final thoughts in my head, because I overthink things way too much, and in my brain I'm always thinking like, oh, nobody's going to be interested in this is a dumb idea, or I get too many ideas and I overwhelm myself. So I made myself notes and talked everything over with my husband, and that think I'm ready to finally start and doing my Patreon. So different tiers and ideas, like I said, that I want to do, and then I'll do an official full announcement when I am opening the Patreon, and I will go into full details talking about the different tiers and different prices and everything. And like I said, what's so important about Patreon is that it is other people's help and encouragement and support that helps me be able to expand farther in my own art and be able to afford supplies. And I really, really want to start creating more costumes, and I want to get back into doing cosplay photo shoots. I really want to get back into cosplay photo shoots and be able to just expand more on that. So I'm probably just not explaining things that well right now. Because like I said, I have overwhelmed myself with this thought for so long, and it's something I'm excited to do. And for the longest time, like I said, I kept doubting myself, pushing myself down, and I wish I would have done this route in the first place. And it's going to be this fun thing where I'm just going to keep pushing my ghost stories, and I think I'm going to do like once a month an exclusive short story done by me where I'm going to read off this exclusive ghost story or short story, horror story, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to read off this exclusive ghost story on my Patreon, and that I'm just coming up with different ideas and content. And obviously, if you guys have any ideas that you can think of that I can add on there, things and avenues that I can explore, it'd be greatly appreciated. And I'm overwhelmed. I'm so overwhelmed with all of this, because it's like I get all the ideas and I really want to do it. And it's like, I feel like I need an editor for myself, where it's like, I do everything, but I'm so terrible at editing myself. And it's just, I hope that makes sense, because it's weird to think of it in that way, in form, where it's like, I'm so scatterbrained, I need a personal editor. But yeah, I really hope that you all are having an amazing week yourself. Let me know in the comments below, like, how's your week been? How is everything going for you? And this week has just been a low maintenance, nonchalant week for me, where it's just been busy in my work and everything, and my research, been watching the movies over and over again for my movie reviews, just so I feel comfortable for them, and just playing a lot of Baldur's Gate. I will flat out say I've definitely been playing a lot of Baldur's Gate. That game is so addicting. But yeah, I definitely hope you all have an amazing week, and I thank you once again for joining me here on another Charsie Chats. I don't announce what the themes are for Charsie Chats because it's not technically on theme with anything, unless I decide for a Charsie Chats that I want to talk about something related to it. I mean, I don't have a personal Bigfoot story, but that would be pretty fun, like someday, to do my own ghost hunting version, or in this one's case, like Bigfoot sighting, and go on a Bigfoot tour. That would be a lot of fun. But yes, thank you so much for joining me here on another Charsie Chats. And if you would like to follow me on my other social medias, you can follow me on my Twitter or my Blue Sky for Charsie Luxxx with 3 X's, or on my Instagram or Threads for Charsie87. And I am the afterlife of the party, and I would love for you to come join me in the afterlife of the party. And to remember to always slay, subscribe, like, and always be yourself. Because in the end, we are all that we have. So definitely love yourself, be kind to yourself, encourage yourself, and these are words that I'm trying to take to heart myself, and I'm learning as well. So until next time, my little Luxxes, I hope you have a luxxycharms kind of day. Bye!